This is the Steve Gruber Show.
Well, it sure is. I'm glad to see you with us here to start on Monday, the next hour here of the program. Glad you're on board, fighting for you from the Foxhole of Freedom every single day. Who do you want in your foxhole? Who do you want in your foxhole? Man, we got some big news today, so let's get to it. Three big things. Number one, President Trump has put the idea of $2,000 checks to every taxpayer in America from the money the government has collected through tariffs. What do you think of that? You want some cash? Number two, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, after applauding Zohran Mamdani, is saying most of his big ideas are just too expensive, will not be funded, like free buses in the Big Apple. That's going to create some anger. And number three, 40 days and 40 nights, the longest government shutdown in history. And regardless of what you may think, one party, the Democrats voted over and over again to keep the government shut down. They voted over and again to not fund paychecks for the TSA, air traffic controllers, and our military, among others. The minority party holding the country hostage, making unreasonable demands. That's what they did over and over again. And boy, are they angry today, because 8 Democrats have now said, you know what? Let's stop this mess. The government shutdown is almost over because 8 Democrats in the wee hours today crossed the aisle. Senator Angus King of Maine, he claims to be an independent but votes with the Democrats. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania. Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada. Jean Shaheen, New Hampshire. Maggie Hassan, New Hampshire. Jackie Rosen of Nevada. So both senators from Nevada, both senators from New Hampshire voting to end this mess. But most notably, these two. Tim Kaine of Virginia, Hillary Clinton's running mate back in 2016. And the number 2 Democrat in the Senate, Dick Durbin. The number 2 Democrat, Dick Durbin, those 8 said, we're done here. They're now voting to open the government, which means, my friends, it has always been the Democrats' shutdown. It has always been the Schumer shutdown because it took Democrats to vote with Republicans to open the government. There's some hurdles to go, but with these 8 on board, it will now move forward. And people on the left are just spitting mad like a hornet's nest got kicked. Peggy Flanagan is a woman who's running to be the next U.S. Senator from the state of Minnesota. Here's an example of what the Democrats are saying online at this hour. Listen.
Hey, so the fact that a handful of Democratic senators just walked away from a fight we were winning to keep healthcare costs from skyrocketing for millions of Americans and capitulating to Donald Trump and congressional Republicans, it sucks. And we deserve so much more, especially when we saw victories up and down the ballot all across the country. People were with us, and then this is not okay. So it is time for you to pick your fighter and pick accordingly, because we deserve so much more than this.
Not happy, Peggy? Upset is the left? Agitated like a bee's nest that got run over by a lawnmower? Yeah, something like that. Say it again, Peggy.
It sucks.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate you. Sorry about that, Peggy. Sorry to JoJo from Jers and all the other left-wing agitators and influencers that are just mad as hell today. Yet they are. Now, I played this bit of sound I'm going to play for you again. I played it last hour, but it's so entertaining. Now, this conversation happened yesterday morning on ABC News. Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, smashing George Stephanopoulos on the shutdown and the truth, and the fact that George Stephanopoulos, when he worked for Bill Clinton, one of his key players who helped whitewater, and cover up Monica Lewinsky, somebody needed to cover her up. This is just so entertaining. Listen to this.
George, the best way to do it, and look, you were involved in a lot of these in the 90s, and you basically called the Republicans terrorists, and you said that it is not the responsible party that keeps the government closed. And so what we need is 5 brave, moderate Democratic senators to cross the aisle, because right now it is 52 to 3. 5 Democrats can cross the aisle and reopen the government. That's the best way to do it, George.
I can disagree with you about the history there, but we don't need a history lesson right now.
George,
Let's talk about what's happening right now.
If you want, I've got all your quotes here. I've got all your quotes here, George.
I'm sure you do.
But
let's talk about the situation right now.
Read your book. So you got one purchase on Amazon this week, and that's very much what you said.
Read your book, George. Bought your book on Amazon this week, George. It's exactly what you said, George. Oh, Lord. That was so much fun. It really was. George, I know you don't want to talk about it, George. It's the responsible party that keeps the government open. Can't hold the government hostage. 40 days and 40 nights. And for what? They got nothing out of this. Nothing. And they use SNAP benefits as a weapon. They used feeding poor people as a weapon because the Republicans put forth a measure that would have funded SNAP benefits for those that can least afford to go without food in this country. Democrats voted against that. 14 times they voted against opening the government. They also voted against special measures that would have paid air traffic controllers, TSA officials, the military. They said no to all of that. Senator James Langford of Oklahoma, who I have mixed feelings about, to say the least, is right about this. He says using SNAP benefits as a weapon, well, that's on the Democrats. Here he is.
Well, the good news that
literally, this is the painful spin that people across the country is like, I'm so sick of the politics and the spin. Just fix the problem with this. 14 times we voted to reopen the government. 2 weeks ago, we brought a bill that would fully fund SNAP for the entire year. Last week, we brought a bill that would just pay our federal employees. Democrats have voted no every single time because the goal for them is leverage. If you listen to the things they say over and over again, they say people are suffering, but that gives us more leverage in our debate here. Listen, people don't want leverage. They want to get access to food. And I would only say President Trump diverted tariff revenue into the WIC funding, Women, Infants, and Children's funding, to be able to make sure that program stays solid. The problem with SNAP is you would have to take funds away from the disaster aid that's there if we have a hurricane that comes in, or take it away from the school lunch program. So it's this terrible choice the president has to make. Take it away from the school lunch program or deal with SNAP. He said over and over, just open the government. That's the solution.
It is a solution, by the way. The long-term solution is to end the filibuster. That has not changed. The Democrats will end the filibuster first moment, the first chance they get. They will end it. They will absolutely end it. No question. And Peggy, one more time, how do you like this, Peggy?
It sucks.
That's what I thought. She's not pleased. And she's mild, by the way. This is one of the ones that we only had to clean up one dirty word in her comments. Some of the things online today you can't even play. Anthony being there for an hour trying to get a 30-second bite cleaned up. Thank you, Anthony, for your help, by the way. We'll take a break and be right back. It is the Steve Gruber Show on a beautiful Monday.